but they have lost their last two, both played on the road. However, if you're a Bronco fan and you're looking for trends, here's some good news. John Elway has taken on New England 6 times. He's yet to lose.
Well, John Elway in his long, illustrious career has always had dramatic plays, big plays, long plays, including this year against Washington when he won the game on the last play of the game. But their offense has struggled this year. They are, particularly the last 2 weeks, only 1 touchdown the last 2 weeks. And, you know, I thought it was interesting what he said last night to us, Vern. He said, I think we're pressing. I think we're trying too hard. I want to relax. I want to have some fun. I want to make plays that way.
Here's a truism as well. Every team in the National Football League in Week 6 has been hindered by injuries. However, the Denver Broncos defensively, Pat, have been struck about as severely as any team I can recall.
You know, we saw this team at the beginning of the year against Buffalo. I thought it was going to be a pretty good defensive team, but the defense has only played 1 week altogether. You see week 1, those starters at linebacker and left end. You see what's happening tonight. 3 new linebackers. Wyman has not played a down this year, coming off an injured left knee. Cadrez just joined the Broncos a week ago. Now, their defense has not stopped the run. They have been awful. After the Bill game, they did a pretty good job, but the Seahawks last week rushed for 230 yards. And simply put, if they don't stop the run better tonight, they cannot win this game.
Well, the Denver Broncos have won the toss and elected to receive. Mike Shanahan, in his first year as head coach, he sounded reasonably upbeat during our conversation with him last night, though they have lost their last 2 and have lost them decisively. And his counterpart, as we said, Bill Parcells, in his 3rd season as the head coach of the New England Patriots. 66 degrees, relative humidity of 70%. There is a breeze that could affect the play tonight. It will come from the left to the right as you look from overhead. Pat O'Neill will kick off. This will be his 12th kickoff this year. He has yet to kick one into the end zone for a touchback. Glenn Milburn waits at the 4 to return. First primetime game since the Cowboys defeated the Patriots 35-21 in September. That is a very poor kick taken at the 10-yard line. And returned by Rod Smith down the sidelines and forced out of bounds. Smith, the speedster wide receiver, who is expected to see some action tonight. John Elway, 6-0 in his career against the New England Patriots, but struggling a little bit right now.
He said, you know, we're not playing with confidence, and when you don't play with confidence, you don't make those plays that a game turns on. And you know, the last 2 weeks, they've had 4 or 5 chances to win the football game, and nobody has really made those plays.
Lost last week in Seattle 27-10. Lost ugly. And at San Diego the week before that. Out of the shotgun on 1st down and 10. And into the flat it goes for Aaron Craver. And number 29, Craver. Now let's see if Denver might go with a no-huddle offense. They told us last night they might use this. The starting offensive receivers and backs. Anthony Miller is starting tonight. He's been bothered by a hamstring and a knee injury. And up front, Tom Nalen, a homecoming for Tom. He graduated from Foxborough, Massachusetts High School in 1989. And now they were not going to use the no-huddle. Instead, we're going to get a measurement on the 1st down play. Referee tonight is Johnny Greer, and that is just enough for a 1st down. Defensively for New England, a 3-4 defense. Reggie, not that white, is at the nose tackle. For the linebackers, Vincent Brown. Maurice Hurst has struggled at right cornerback through this season. See if they might pick on him tonight. Out of the shotgun again, Slade with pressure. The pass is completed to Craver for the 2nd time in a row, and Aaron Craver, who replaces Rod Bernstein, who was waived after week 3.
Well, the fullbacks should catch a lot of passes in this offense. They always do. You think about the 49ers offense, fullbacks have always catches a lot. You work tight end fullback combinations. 29 is Craver. He just kind of fights through some traffic. And what happened, Shannon Sharp was getting double teamed, and that leaves Craver wide open.
They go on the no-huddle, and Terrell Davis, the rookie, number 30, is tripped up after no gain. Troy Barnett got the tackle. And again, the no-huddle. Purpose of this, Pat?
I think just to kind of get it, break the flow, or get into a rhythm. They haven't the last 2 weeks.
Slade is ridden around the back of John Elway, number 53. The pass complete, but only for a yard gain. Craver with his third catch. That is by half the number of catches he had coming in. First drive offense for the Broncos against the Bills. They managed to get a field goal. They've had 3 punts and a fumble last week when John Elway fumbled on 4th and 1.
You know, Vern, and I think the opening drive of each half really sets a tone and a tempo for the team for the rest of that half. As we said, they have struggled the last few weeks.
Ed McCaffrey's in as a third wide receiver on 3rd and 10. Patriots threaten a blitz. They are not coming. Good protection for Elway on a rope. And it is incomplete. Intended for Anthony Miller down the right side. Good defensive job by Ty Law, this year's #1 draft choice.
Yeah, Ty Law played well last week against Atlanta. I mean, he had a very good game. This is one of those prove-it type of games. Can you be consistent? Played well last week, and they go right after their #1 draft pick in their first series this game.
Tom Ruin has an outstanding net average. You see his gross punting average this year is 44.6, but most significantly is that net of 38.6. Here's Ruin on 4th down. Nice and high. Dave Meggett waits for it. Has it. Good special teams work by the Broncos. And Meggett is shoved backwards. He went north. He wanted to go south. Brett Hager, number 54, who had arthroscopic knee surgery Tuesday. We're not making that up.
The NFL on TNT is brought to you by Coors Light, shipped cold to preserve the clean taste of the rock.
Back at Foxborough Stadium, Drew Bledsoe suffered a separated left shoulder against the San Francisco 49ers a couple of weeks ago. Here's Brett Hager. On Tuesday of this week, Brett Hager had arthroscopic knee surgery. He was a starting linebacker. He told Coach Mike Shanahan, "I'm a quick healer."
And indeed, and then he made that special teams tackle. He practiced on Friday, and the first special teams play he makes. Remarkable.
And Bledsoe back in the starting lineup. Hands it off on 1st down. There's a sweep to Curtis Martin, the rookie running back, and 3rd-round pick out of Pittsburgh, whose high school coach, Ed Fulham, is here tonight. Vincent Brisby had the best night of his career, best day of his career last week, 9 catches. And Ben Coates playing with a sprained left ankle tonight, but he is playing. Offensive line. Max Lane gets the start again for Pat Harlow. Here's the sweep to the right with Curtis Martin. Cuts inside and is stopped by Glenn Cadrez, number 59. Defensively for the Denver Broncos, Cadrez, 1 of 3 who is starting tonight. He was picked up a little over a week ago on waivers from the Jets. Defensive line, Hasselback starts for Dan Williams. Here's an unknown group. Alan Aldridge, Dave Wyman, Glenn Cadrez. Dave Wyman, 7th knee surgery. And in the secondary, Steve Atwater again playing like an all-pro. Dave Meggett in on 3rd down. Bledsoe chase, throws it away, incomplete.
And one thing, when you play the Patriots, you better pay attention to Ben Coates. And you better stick him at the line of scrimmage. You cannot let him off the line. And they had 2 guys. It was Simon Fletcher, the defensive end, and the linebacker Cadrez as well. And that's one thing, when your quarterback is focused into a guy like Ben Coates, and Bledsoe has that tendency, if you can keep him at the line of scrimmage, it really disrupts the rhythm of the pass.
Now 4th down, and Pat O'Neill on to punt. He does have the wind at his back. Glenn Milburn has returned them for an average of 12 per carry, and there's a flag down. O'Neill may have been touched.
Well, he was touched.
Oh, holding.
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 The punter was touched as well. That's when they threw the flag.
Johnny Greer's preliminary indication is offensive holding.
Denver feels they can put some pressure on the punter, O'Neill.
Holding, number 26 of the kicking team is declined.
And that's the man. The left side is Crooms, number 26. He's the man that's holding, and that's the guy that Denver is attacking. Number 26, Corey Kroom. He gets the hold, and that'll be Denver's ball.
Simply a beautiful October evening in New England, and the Denver Broncos after that 33-yard punt with excellent field position. They've got the ball at the 47, but they have had trouble in the first quarter of games this year, Pat.
Yeah, they have really started slowly, and I think put a lot of pressure on their defense, and their defense hasn't responded.
Out of the shotgun again, 1st and 10 from the Patriot 47-yard line. Elway gets good protection, pumps once and goes deep left side for Vance or Anthony Miller. And Miller, the speedster, good coverage from Terry Ray down at the 4-yard line.
Last week, Terry Ray was beat on the very same pass pattern by the Atlanta Falcons. And they were going to try to double pump him. He has a tendency to be over-aggressive. And there was a little double move by Anthony Miller. It was the pump fake by John Elway. But this week, Terry Ray was not fooled. There's the pump. Then he goes up top.
And quickly, here's Terrell Davis going right. And being stopped by Ricky Reynolds, among others. Willie McGinnis is there, and a flag is down.
You know, the Broncos have started both series in good field position, Vern, and the Patriot defense has put them in 3rd and long now twice. Their defense has not played particularly well this year, ranked 24th in defense, but they played well so far tonight.
Mike Shanahan looks on, as do we.
Holding, 66, offense. It's decline.
That's Tom Nalen.
The local kid.
Yep.
Well, on the last 3rd down, the Patriot defense did not get much pressure on John Elway. He had a long time to scan the field. He threw the ball to Anthony Miller for an incomplete pass, but he had a lot of time to throw the ball on a 3rd down. This is where you got to get after the quarterback, put some pressure on him.
3rd and 8 from the 45. Wentz is coming. Elway drills it, intercepted. No, knocked away. Intended for Sharp. Ricky Reynolds doing the defensive job. And a good one it was. And for the 2nd time, the Broncos have been across the 50, and they're going to have to punt.
Yeah, good 3rd down pass defense, Vern, on both plays. One time was Ty Law, this time Ricky Reynolds. The ball thrown a little bit behind the receiver, but Reynolds did a very nice job of staying with Shannon Sharp.
Tom Ruin on to punt for the 2nd time. Meggett waits at the 8. Nice and high. Meggett comes up, fair catch called, and he takes it at the 13-yard line. So for the 2nd time, the Broncos cross midfield. For the 2nd time, they come up empty. Patriots have the ball when we return to Foxborough. Bill Parcells in his 3rd year as the head coach of the Patriots, the team 1-3, and he talked briefly about his concerns.
Right now, we're a team that has trouble overcoming adversity, that does things that cause you to lose momentarily. And unless we get that squared away, this season's going to slip away from us fairly quickly. And that's what concerns me the most.
You know, Vern, he actually divides the season up in quarters. They're 1-3 after the first quarter. He wants to be, you know, at the halfway mark with an even record and really make a push in the last part of the season.
Play action. Bledsoe puts it on the rope. Incomplete for Will Moore. Up at the 25-yard line.
And his teams have been very, very good late in the season. His Giant teams were, and his Patriot teams have been very good late in the year.
Well, his first team won its last 4 to finish 5-11. Then everybody in New England got excited on the strength of that 7-game win streak to end the regular season last year.
Yeah, but this is far from that team right now. They are a different offensive team than they were a year ago.
Meggett is in, gets the hammer. Comes right, runs into Alan Aldridge, number 57, with a picture-perfect tackle. Whoa.
Yeah, he answered one of those questions about, hey, can I play linebacker? Aldridge was a defensive end in college in his 2nd year, just trying to get the feel. He's number 57 here in the end. You know, first has a feel for a pass, then kind of fills the hole. And if you're going to fill the hole, that's the way you do it.
The Patriots have been very good at not going 3 and out. They went 3 and out a moment ago. That's only the 7th time this year they've gone 3 and out. They face that prospect here. Flinch on the right tackle. Yep, Max Lane moved, number 68.
Had a couple flinches last week against Atlanta. Filling in Pat Harlow, who's ordinarily the right tackle.
Number 68, prior to the snap, still 3rd down.
Bill Parcells' teams traditionally are not penalized.
Well, he had, what, 8 penalties last week? And all the things that, when you think of Bill Parcells' teams doing when they were really good, including these Patriot teams, not making mistakes, not turning the ball over, quarterbacks fumbling the ball. They've done all those things this year. And that's why they're struggling. They're 1-3.
3rd down 12. No score opening quarter. Blitz coming. Bledsoe gets rid of it, incomplete, intended for his tight end, Ben Coates.
Well, this is how this season has gone for both of these offenses. They have gone twice now 3 and out, the Patriots, and they've continued their struggle. The Denver Broncos tonight have had 2 opportunities with excellent field position and have done nothing with that. So the offensive woes continue. Now they want to come over number 26. Even left of your screen, number 26, the man they want to come over. They think they can put some pressure on him. That's Crooms. They did last time.
He and Ty Law, number 24, to the left side. Pat O'Neill on the punt for the 2nd time. And O'Neill gets it away. Milburn has it. Dodges a tackle at the 45. Steps out of another at the 47. And for the 3rd time, pending what happens with this flag, the Broncos will have terrific field position. Johnny Greer. Head linesman is Tom Stable. 2 flags, actually. So they will unravel this and let us know what's going to transpire. Maybe.
We have 2 fouls on the receiving team. Holding number 26 while the ball was in the air, and an illegal block at the spot of the cap during the run back. The holding will be declined. We will penalize the illegal block.
Oh, okay. Let's go back to Denver. What they're trying to do is put some pressure right in here on this part of the defense. You're going to see 2 guys here. A 3rd guy is going to come in, and then they're going to bring actually a 4th guy to put pressure on the left side of the Patriot punt protection team. They think they have bigger guys, more weights. Crooms, number 26, only goes at 208 pounds, and they feel they can either perhaps get a block punt or certainly put pressure on the punter. This time, the Patriot special teams do a good job of knocking everybody out. Clean lane for O'Neill to punt the ball.
And while you were watching that replay, the penalty was marked off against the Broncos, which does put them back in their own end. Well, now we still haven't sorted this out.
Well, he had to get his flag in case he needs to use that again.
For any purpose.
No, that's exactly right.
Fellow's got a cold.
Well, it is a beautiful evening, as you mentioned.
1st down and 10. Out of the shotgun again. John Elway has run every offensive play out of the shotgun so far. Aaron Craver with his 4th catch, and they're getting good yardage on 1st and 2nd down. They just can't get much, and I can't talk about it on 3rd down.
Let me help you with that. But you know what's happening, though, Vern? I mean, I think the Patriots are so concerned with Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is setting up Craver as a receiver. I mean, he's getting all the attention, and what teams like to do is run tight end fullback combinations. And right now, Craver's getting the receptions.
2nd down and 1. Elway got him. That's only the 7th sack of John Elway this season. And Willie McGinnis applied the pressure.
And that's what they need. They need, when they get close to the quarterback, they need to bring him down. A week ago against Atlanta, Parcells was saying, hey, we were around Jeff George 10 times, but we only brought him down once. That time, McGinnis gets close, and he makes the play.
3rd down and 6. McCaffrey joins Mike Pritchard and Anthony Miller at the wide receiver spots. Patriots bring 4. Elway buys some time, dancing right. He's being chased. Now scrambles, and it's close for the 1st down. Very close at the 47. And John Gamble brings to mind what Bill Parcells said about him yesterday. He has no fear.
Yeah, he is a big quarterback. He goes 215, 220, and he is so strong. But the thing I like about him, and I think what makes him the best scrambler of all time in the NFL, is he's always looking to make the throw downfield. This time, nowhere to go because of good coverage. Then he knows where the yard markers are. He wasn't going to get it on the run, so he tried to lunge for it, and he made it. That was a very nice lunge by John.
What did you have for lunch?
I had a real nice turkey burger.
Room service?
Lunch. Yeah, absolutely.
Have to wait a long time?
Just 2.5 hours. But you know, one of the things about John Elway is his durability. You know, in the 13th year now, he's only missed 10 games because of injuries. I think that is absolutely phenomenal.
First down and 10 after the Elway run, chased by Mike Jones. Reverse. Terrell Davis was lined up, and he's got some room, and he's got some speed. Davis was lined up on the right side. Terry Ray makes the grab, but Terrell Davis, whose longest run had been 31 yards, has now exceeded that by 3 feet.
Well, he's a rookie, but he has played like an experienced veteran for this entire season. Now, the Broncos had, what, 3 reverses run on them last week, and they turned the tables right here. He gets a good block, I think it was by Pritchard, the wide receiver. And the block by Craver, number 29, on Slade. He destroys him. That allows Terrell Davis to get outside. Good team blocking.
32-yard gain, 1st and 10, no score, first quarter. They'll try the middle this time. Terrell Davis, 6th-round draft pick out of Georgia, inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Yeah, I like this Terrell Davis. You know, and we were talking to Vincent Brown, the inside linebacker for the Patriots this week, and he was talking about Davis. He said, this guy is really a determined runner. You know, you hit him and he seems to bounce off you. And, you know, he's not the kind of guy that's trying to make every run an 80-yard run. If it's there, they block 3 yards, he'll give you 5 or 6.
2nd down and 4, no score, 6:44 to go. Opening quarterback split, regular set this time. Elway still has it. Well, he's no Steve Bono.
Steve Bono is still running untouched, by the way.
Steve Bono ran for 76 yards last week against the Cardinals.
Well, again, you know, he has a real good feel for the game in a lot of ways, and also where the first down markers are. We saw it on 1 3rd and 4 scramble, and this time he knows exactly where the marker is. He's looking at it right now. He's going to say he's going to pick up his block by his wide receiver, who's doing a good job of blocking. Then cuts inside and gets the first. That's twice he's done it.
1st and goal at the 6-minute mark, opening quarter. They'll test the middle again. Terrell Davis plunges forward over the blocks of Nalen and Schlereth and Habib and moves it down inside the 2-yard line.
The thing about Terrell Davis, too, Vern, is he just does not dance around in the hole. He makes up his mind very, very quickly. And Mark Schlereth, the left guard, was saying, you know, he reminds him a lot of Ernest Biner, who played with the Redskins. You know, he gets what's there, and then he doesn't take any negative plays, and then he'll just push the pile for an extra couple yards. 2nd
and goal from the 1. The Broncos looking for their first quarter touchdown of the season. Pushes the pile to the north. Touchdown, Denver. Well, they liked this kid enough that they released Rod Bernstein about 2 games ago.
And he's had a very nice first quarter. 4 catches, scores a touchdown. He threw a real nice block on the reverse to Terrell Davis, so they've gotten everything out of Craver.
And that is Craver's first touchdown as a Bronco. Jason Elam will attempt the extra point. And on their 3rd trip inside Patriot territory, the Broncos hit it big. It was a reverse to Terrell Davis that set up the touchdown, and then Elway hands it off to Aaron Craver. Good block on Vincent Brown. And the pile went with the guys dressed in white. 7-0 Denver. Aaron Craver gets the touchdown from a yard out. It comes with 5:12 remaining in the opening quarter. And the Denver Broncos trying to win for the first time this season on the road. Their last road victory, as a matter of fact, was early December last year when they won in overtime at Kansas City. They get to go back home after tonight. They take on Oakland next Monday night, then Kansas City, then a bye, and then Arizona.
He missed.
Whoa.
A whiff. Yep.
Whoa, it's a whiff. Elam points back at the ball. I can't wait to see the replay on this.
I think it may have been moving, and he's smiling. It may have been moving as he was getting set to kick it.
I saw, now I'm going to take you back 25 years now. The Cowboys had a kicker named Mike Clark who whiffed an onside kick in a playoff game against Cleveland in '69.
Well, this wasn't supposed to be an onside kick, but does the ball move? Yep. Hello. That's good discretion by Elam.
Very good.
There you go.
The winds of autumn
Uh-huh.
circulate through Foxborough Stadium.
A night that Joyce Kilmer would really appreciate.
Yes, she would.
No.
Ode to a Tree, it's called,
go.
right?
Yep.
And he wrote it, right?
There you go. That's exactly right.
I didn't want you to think I was ignorant.
I got it.
Make it. Out to the 32-yard line. This will be the best field position now for the New England Patriots.
Some of the scenery we've enjoyed the last few days reminded me of Joyce Kilmer. But, you know, this has been thus far a game of field position. You just mentioned it. The Patriots have had none of it. Really, this is really the best field position they've had all game. And meanwhile, Denver has had very good field position and did capitalize on it by their last touchdown.
Look at the field position. Denver at their 41 and New England at the 18. This time they're out at the 32. Coates in motion. Bledsoe hands it off to Curtis Martin, number 28, and he goes left and moves it to the 35-yard line.
One thing about the Patriots, the one game they won, their opener against Cleveland, they ran the ball well, and Curtis Martin ran the ball well, ran for 102 yards and scored the winning touchdown. Since that time, they have not run the ball well, and as Parcells told us, they have just been lousy. They've played poorly since that Cleveland game.
Well, this is weakness against weakness, really. I mean, I don't mean to be sarcastic about that, but the Patriots don't run the ball well, and the Broncos can't stop anybody. Loose ball. A flag is down as well.
I think Michael Dean Perry got the hand on the ball as Drew Bledsoe was trying to get rid of it. It happened 4 times last week to the Patriot quarterbacks. 4 times, the same kind of play.
Holding, 66, offense is declined. First down.
Michael Dean Perry is explosive off the ball. He is number 95 right there. He hits the gap. He's a gap player. He knew he wasn't going to get the sack, but he did the next best thing, or actually, a better thing. Stripped him of the ball. Hasselbeck makes the recovery. But it's shocking. Now in 2 games, they have done that. The Patriot quarterbacks have lost the ball 5 different times.
That is the 7th fumble this season by New England, all 7 the quarterbacks. 4 for Zolak last week. That's Bledsoe's 3rd. And they've lost 6 of them. Elway fakes the pitch, finds his tight end Shannon Sharp. Somebody went to sleep defensively, and the fake set it up.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what else set it up. Or those inside runs that the Broncos have used with Terrell Davis and Craver. You know, this West Coast offense, everybody runs this. You block down, it's a delay, 1,000, 1,002. You come outside in the flat, everybody's left the area. It's an easy play. It's a little bootleg play, but it only works if you're running the ball inside, which Denver has done pretty well thus far in this game.
4:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. 4th time the Broncos have been inside the Patriot territory. Terrell Davis down to the 1. Terrell Davis, a 6th-round draft pick, who is the leading rookie runner in the NFL now in Week 6.
Well, turnovers, I think, are the biggest ingredient in winning, losing in the NFL. The Broncos have only scored 10 points off turnovers.
And that is their first fumble recovery defensively of the year. First one. 2nd and goal. Backs in the eye. On the ground. They got another one. A very late signal that came from the right side. Terrell Davis is in with a touchdown. Only the 4th takeaway this season by the Bronco defense.
Yeah, there are some bodies flying for Terrell Davis. Habib, number 75. Craver, again, doing a good job. Hugs the block of Habib as he steps into the hole, holds onto the ball, and gets in the end zone. And, you know, Elway was saying last night we wanted to play looser. We've been pressing. We've been too tight. And I think maybe this no huddle has kind of gotten him in a little better rhythm and playing a little looser, Vern.
Jason Elam's extra point is up and good. And the first fumble recovery of the season by Hasselbeck, the defensive end, who's playing in the place of Dan Williams, sets up the touchdown. And Greg Davis, the Greg Robinson, I beg your pardon, defensive coordinator, has got to be a little happy with what he sees. Tonight's overhead shots are courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes from Pompano Beach, Florida. At the controls is Captain Jim Maloney from Vienna, Virginia.
A good offensive line block, and I think it was Habib, number 75. I think he steps around the traffic. Craver gets his block, but you know, offensive guards have to fight their way through traffic just like backs do, and I think Habib did a very good job of finding his way to make a block. Last time we did one of their games, Habib talked to us, and his other offensive linemen fined him, didn't they? Did he get fined for talking to the announcers?
Yeah, but Gary Zimmerman refused to talk to us because he didn't want to pay the fine.
Yeah.
Mark Schlereth said last night, Schlereth is number 69, you only get fined if they catch you at it.
There is Schlereth.
Well, they just caught us at it. There's Habib and Schlereth and Roderick Thompson.
They've done a pretty good job thus far in this game.
Total yardage so far, 106 for Denver, -3 from the Patriots. Here's Troy Brown. And this time field position will be...
That was an ugly kick.
Yes, it was.
That was a really ugly, short kick. And I don't know if the ball was falling off the tee that time, Vern, but that thing didn't go very far. Into a win. There's a slight win, not terrible.
Return of 37 yards, and it went to Troy Brown and not Meggett. So now the Patriots are across midfield for the first time.
Yeah, and I think this is the time of the game and this season where Drew Bledsoe really has to take control of this team. Bill Parcells said, hey, we don't have any stand-up leader types. Guys have done that, and I think Drew Bledsoe has to stand up and get it done right now.
First down and 10. Run blitz, play action. Bledsoe, right side for Will Moore. Tipped away and incomplete. Ray Crockett with a nifty job of defensive work.
Boy, that is beautiful coverage by Ray Crockett. You know, as bad as they've been on run defense, these corners for Denver have not been beaten for a touchdown this season. And Ray Crockett could not have played this any better. Well, I guess if he intercepted it, but it would have been a tough catch for him. But that is a perfect play by Crockett.
Second and 10, and Corey Kroom and Dave Meggett come into the offensive backfield now. Kroom lines up to the right side, number 26, as a blocking back. Blitz is threatened. Here comes Denver. Good protection. Bledsoe into the flat. Bobbled. Kroom could not hang on. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah, Lionel Washington was saying not complete, but he did gather it in. Fullback by committee this evening for the Patriots because Sam Gash is hurt. Corey Kroom is the guy that's been picking on the punt team, but he stayed with that one. He stayed with it. And I don't think he touched the ground.
Nope.
I think that was a catch. I think it was a catch.
You're hesitating.
It's a catch. How's that? Feel better?
Yeah, I do. I want you authoritative and decisive. Enough wishy-washy stuff.
Super slow-mo, I want to tell you. They can make you change your mind a few times.
Here's a penalty against the Broncos. That'll be pass interference at the 35.
Now, a couple plays earlier, a perfect coverage on Will Moore. And this time they nabbed him.
Pass interference. Number 39. Defense. First down.
Well, Ray Crockett played very well just a couple of plays ago. And that's not interference.
Oh, boy.
That is not interference. That is a perfect play again by Ray Crockett, and he has right to be angry.
Well, it was last week that the New England Patriots were victimized by a phantom pass interference call in Atlanta on Maurice Hurst that erased a touchdown. That's the first New England first down. Curtis Martin is back in, gets the carry to the 33-yard line.
There's one thing Denver has done better tonight, and that's play against the run. I mean, only 13 rushing yards thus far for the Patriots, and they have been humbled trying to stop the run in this game.
Denver gave up 230 yards last week. 230.
Staggering.
To Seattle.
Yeah, Chris Warren had, what, 115?
And 3 touchdowns. Second down and 8. 14-0 the score. Bledsoe Lots it right, throws it away, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
That was a funny throw. I guess he was trying to throw that one away, but you know, you worry about his left shoulder. His left shoulder is the injured one, and even when you're throwing the ball, it can hurt you. Now, Perry is going to cause some disruption. Remember, he caused a fumble a little bit early, hits the left shoulder that time of Drew Bledsoe. That would worry any mother. And Drew Bledsoe's mother is worried about him.
Well, Drew said he would not take an injection to still the pain because he had to answer to a higher authority, his mom.
Doesn't get any higher. I think he's too much higher, Dad, doesn't he?
Bledsoe. Oh, my. Rondell Jones. And that one was going into the stratosphere.
Well, he would have had his first touchdown pass of the year, but it would have gone to a Bronco. I mean, this defense is playing with a lot more emotion than they have the last couple weeks. He's kind of lobbing that ball funny, Vern. That's 2 passes in a row. I have to worry about the way he's delivering the ball. The one out of bounds, and that one was just kind of a strange little flick.
Bledsoe is 1 of 7. Now the field goal attempt, 51 yards. Matt Barr. That might do it, yes! That is the first attempt by Matt Barr over 50 yards in 2 years. And Matt Barr, in his 17th season in the league, a man who casually dropped the word vicissitudes to us yesterday, hammers it home.
And none of us could spell it either, could we? But he got everything he had into this one. And I think this thing is just going to cross the crossbar. Yeah, it's pretty good. Plenty of room. Yeah, pretty good leg on it.
That's plenty for a Penn State guy.
Yeah. In his 17th year.
Who uses vicissitudes.
Yeah. And he has kicked in some really awful places for kickers.
You know, I must tell you, when he used that phrase, and he did it very nonchalantly, I knew that he had made the All-Hayden team. But what bothered me is that it was going to disqualify him from the All-Madden team.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
John will kick him off.
One or the other. It's one or the other.
Yeah. TNT's NFL coverage continues Thursday as NFC West leaders the Atlanta Falcons and the St. Louis Rams meet at 8 o'clock Eastern. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern with the Coors Light Pro Football Tonight pregame show.
I would think those two teams have to qualify as real surprises. The Falcons at 4-1, and the Rams likewise tied with San Francisco for the NFC West lead. And good for them.
Broncos will receive. Pat O'Neill will kick off. Glenn Milburn waits for it and grabs it at the 10. Watch out. Vernon Lewis knocks him out of bounds, but a fine bit of running from Glenn Milburn.
Did you see him stop and start in the middle of a run like that? That's a heck of a return by Glenn Milburn. And again, his offense is going to get great field position, a 34-yard return, and he did a lot of that on his own. He's kind of like a leaf in the wind. I mean, he can stop and he can start and he can, you know, make people miss. Right there, there's a stop and start, and there's the old leaf in the wind routine.
I like the way you picked up on this theme of trees in October. And, yeah, nice time.
Ty's got leaves on it.
Yeah. Little moonlight in Vermont. Elway tipped away.
Good play. Good play by Terry Ray, the strong safety. We've seen 2 of those from Terry Ray tonight, and 2 of them from Ray Crockett of the Broncos. So good defensive back play. Again, the guy that was victimized a week ago, and Parcells said, it seems like every game, one of our defensive backs falls to sleep, and there's a big play opens. It's happened the last couple of weeks. But Terry Ray is playing for his job and maybe his career here for New England.
2nd down and 10. Sweep to Terrell Davis.
Number 30, Terrell Davis on the carry.
Good job defensively by Vincent Brown, number 59. McGinnis was in the neighborhood. Vincent Brown playing with a really sore right knee. Packs that hinge in cold water and an ice bubble every day.
You know his injury and the fact that Ben Coates and Drew Bledsoe haven't played up to last year's form, I think is one of the big reasons they're 1-3.
3rd and 7. Shotgun for Denver. They lead at 14-3. Elway shovel pass. Darrell Davis is caught short of the first down. He moved it to the 47, but the Broncos will have to punt. But that is the 5th time they've been across the 50 in the first quarter.
Yeah, they have run this play over the years out of this shotgun formation very, very well. And they've run it in long yardage situations and 3rd and 3s. It comes up a little bit short, but it's been a very effective play for them. Well, they may just use a long count here, too. I'd be surprised. I think it's a bad play if they go for it. But I think they may use a long count. Quarter's going to end, yep. And they're going to punt.
And then they get the win.
Punt with the win.
Of course, they've only got to punt it 48 yards till they hit the end zone. Nevertheless.
Coming up at the half, the Fruit of the Loom halftime report. We'll have no huddle highlights and Ernie Johnson Jr. a conversation with Patriot owner Robert Kraft, who will talk about those NFL lawsuits facing Jerry Jones and Al Davis. We'll see everyone at halftime.
Sellout crowd, first primetime game in Foxborough Stadium since 1981. They've got another one coming up in a couple of weeks, a Monday night encounter.
A long way they travel for this game.
Yeah, they did. I wonder if they knew they had tickets.
No, it's worth it.
On 4th down, Tom Ruin back to punt again. Dave Meggett gathers it in at the 10-yard line. And he is leveled. Ray Jacobs, who is a special he's a special steamer, yes. He's also a special teams standout. And Jacobs, number 50, with the tackle. So again, New England starts from inside their own 15-yard line. 3rd time they've done so. They trail 14-3. Total yardage for the Patriots in the first quarter, 7 yards, 13 rushing, -6 passing. Bledsoe is 1 of 7, and he's been sacked once. Martin is caught and dropped for a loss at the 11.
And Michael Dean Perry is playing most of this first half in their backfield, and that has been a big difference. He said, using his terms, we played like sissies the last couple of weeks, and that was his quote, a direct quote. But this is an entirely different defensive team that we're seeing tonight for the Broncos. A lot more aggressive, a lot more penetration, and creating a lot more negative plays.
2nd down and 12. Meggett starts in motion. Bledsoe into the flat for Meggett. But boy, somebody had done its homework. Ray Crockett right there.
Well, Ray Crockett 3 times tonight has responded when they've thrown the ball in his area. He got flagged once. Remember Dave Wyman, the middle linebacker for Denver last night, said, hey, the thing about this defense, we have not played with any enthusiasm. I don't know if it's Dave Wyman's presence or not, but they're playing with a lot more enthusiasm.
Remember what Greg Crockett said to us, that Dave Wyman brings us a lot of intangibles when he gets back on the field. And he's back at middle linebacker, number 92. Bledsoe back, stunts by the defense across the middle, incomplete. 4th down. And there's a cascade of noise that the Patriots did not envision hearing tonight.
Well, he is not in rhythm. And couple of funny throws. He is generally a very accurate thrower. And, you know, the left shoulder, even at your left shoulder, it does affect your throw. You're whipping it around. And I don't know if it's bothering him, but he's sure not throwing like he normally does.
Well, Parcells said last night in our conversation, looked us both straight in the eye and said, our quarterbacking has been awful. And he said, I'm not absolving any of us from the blame. He said, I've coached terribly. But they've had problems in every area. This one comes to a rest just across the 50. But it's only a yard across the 50. So Bill Parcells' defense back out on the field. The Broncos again with terrific field position.
The NFL on TNT is brought to you by GMC Truck, the strength of experience. And by the officially licensed NFL apparel from Lee Sport, the brand for fans like you.
Sail away, you can fly.
From across the seas, Beck's, the #1 imported German beer. We stood side by side with Mike Boren when he laid 90,000 feet of sod. We carried the team's equipment when Mike Jr. pitched his first game. Then we chauffeured the whole family off to Angelo's to celebrate. GMC Sierra, with standard four-wheel ABS and the same steel ladder frame built into our commercial trucks, it's a truck built for the way you live. Sierra is built for life. See the full line of GMC trucks at your GMC truck dealer.
Sail away, you can fly.
From across the seas, Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Drew Bledsoe on the sideline, 2 of 9 for 12 yards. It's time now for the GMC truck leaders. And we're going to feature the rookie running backs. This is as of this moment. Terrell Davis with 339 yards. Salam had a big day for the Bears today. Rodney Thomas of the Oilers is currently 3rd. Kaufman had only 16 yards in the Oakland win, and Curtis Martin now with 257 yards.
James Stewart scored a touchdown today for the Jaguars.
Now the Broncos again with good field position. 5 times they were across the 50 in the first quarter of play, and they got their first 2 first-quarter touchdowns of the season. They lead it 14-3.
And this game has been defined by field position thus far. And what's really set it up is the Denver defense. They forced punts and given their offense excellent field position.
Shannon Sharp tight to the right. They reverse it again. Mike Pritchard, the 3rd time he's run a reverse this season, and the Patriots have done their homework. He's now lost yardage on the 3 that he's run. Chris Slade made the tackle, number 53. Pritchard, who was out most of last season with a lacerated kidney and has been fighting injuries this year.
Every quarterback thinks they're more physical than they are, and John Elway is trying to kick him out. He's saying, you should have run inside, Mike. I kicked him out, did my job. You got to cut off my block.
2nd and 12. Out of the shotgun this time. Patriots bring 5. Elway pulls up, lets it go. He's got a man over the middle. It's fumbled and picked up immediately by Anthony Miller. Talk about the vicissitudes of football.
I knew you'd get it in.
Oh, man.
You know, Shannon Sharp caught the ball, but he's getting lots of attention. That's why the fullback's catching so many. He's going to get jammed by 2 different guys. He makes the initial catch, and then the ball goes forward and picked up by Anthony Miller.
That's going to be 23 on the pass and 8 on the fumble. And Anthony Miller gets the ball with a first down at the 22-yard line. Back split again behind Elway. They hand it off to Aaron Craver. He bounces, tries to bounce it to the outside, and is cut down at the 23.
Denver's been set up by their defense thus far, Vern, and they're controlling the game, the tempo of the game, and the clock. A couple of things they have not been able to do in the last few weeks. As a matter of fact, people have killed them in time of possessions and long drives. I mean, I think they've had 9, given up 9 drive over 10 plays or over. But the defense, I think, has set this game up and really given the Broncos a chance to score these 14 points.
Broncos lead it 14-3. Jerry Evans in at tight end now. Tight to the right side. Out of the shotgun, Pritchard starts in motion. Elway has a lot of protection. Nobody open. And it's tipped away as Elway made a terrific throw. And the defensive job done by Chris Slade.
Yeah, but it's been one of those years almost getting to the quarterback. That's the kind of year defensively it has been for the Patriots. You're going to see from the backside, number 53, Slade, almost get there. Almost caused a fumble, but he doesn't. And that's another reason they're 1-3. They're getting close, Vern, but they're not getting it done.
3rd and 10. 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions so far. Elway 7 of 12. Elway finds Terrell Davis at the 20-yard line, but he gains only a yard. Ricky Reynolds, who's probably played better than the other defensive backs this season. And he makes a nice stop there, and that'll bring on Jason Elam to try the field goal.
This was good protection because John Elway looked in a number of directions. He starts out to his right, and he's looking in the middle of the field, and he goes all the way back to the left. That is a lot of protection and good protection.
Jason Elam, who missed a short one last week and a long one, tries this one, and that's perfect. From 37 yards out of Tom Rulin's hold, Johnny Greer signals a successful field goal. It's 17-3. Jason Elam with a 37-yard field goal has given Denver a 14-point lead once again. 10:49 to go in the first half of play. Vern Lundquist, Pat Hayden. The Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. Both teams struggling, but Denver playing with much enthusiasm tonight. This is a short kick taken by Meggett at the 14-yard line. And he's tackled as he gets across the 30 out near the 33-yard line. Drew Bledsoe, Matt.
Yeah, he looks like his left shoulder, that's the one that's injured. It's either taped too tightly or it's hurting him. So watch how he keeps it real close to his body. And his ball comes up short because he's not getting a full extension with the left arm and the left shoulder. And this ball gets thrown in the dirt. And as I said, you need that left shoulder to kind of whip around. And it may be taped too tightly, or in fact, it may be bothering him.
That was the last pass he attempted. 2 of 9 for 12, as you see. First down and 10. Bledsoe looks left. Incomplete.
Another one in the dirt. Another one in the dirt. He's not getting extension with the left arm. And look at all quarterbacks around the league. In some form or fashion, they're going to put that left arm up to deliver the ball. Again, the left arm just real close to his body, and that just might be one of those tape jobs. That's too tight.
2 of 10 now. 2nd and 10. At the 33. That's one across the middle. Coates has it. Ben Coates all the way to the 41-yard line.
And when you need some offense, some instant offense, and if you're a quarterback, you look for Ben Coates, because this guy is a remarkable tight end. We have 2 remarkable tight ends tonight. Now this one, he gets up in the air. In a perfectly timed ball, you don't cover him with a linebacker. It's just not going to work. Cadrez, number 59, trying to cover Coates, but no chance for him.
Ben Coates playing with an ankle injury tonight. Back split on first down. Gain of 25 on the last play. This one's short and caught. Curtis Martin, who hasn't caught a lot of passes this season. Drew Bledsoe was telling us yesterday that this is where he really misses Kevin Turner.
Yeah, Kevin Turner now with Philadelphia, actually now injured. That was the guy, Kevin Turner, that caught, 52 passes a year ago coming out of the backfield. And that is a great combination to have, Turner and that tight end. And he does miss it. Of all the guys to the left, he says, I miss Turner the most.
That was only the 3rd catch this season for Martin. Here's Bledsoe back across the middle again, incomplete. Incidental contact rule. Bledsoe wanted a flag thrown, but he's not going to win it. Kevin Lee is the intended recipient of the pass. Well, and Ray Crockett is there again.
Yeah, Ray Crockett has played very well this first half. But the Patriots, again, struggling with the running game and putting too much on Drew Bledsoe's shoulders, or shoulder, if you will. Again, when they've gotten themselves in trouble, they have not been able to run the ball other than against Cleveland in their opener.
Kroom and Meggett in the backfield on 3rd and 7. Stunts by the Broncos defense. The pass is incomplete. It'll be 4th down. And Crockett is there again. Kevin Lee.
You can't play corner much better than Ray Crockett is playing tonight. Number 39 at the top of the screen. Takes the inside release, or an inside coverage position. It was a hook route, but he read the route perfectly. It wasn't threatened deeply, so he just kind of hung there and drove on the ball.
Now Pat O'Neill back to punt again on 4th and 7. Glenn Milburn waits at the 10-yard line. This one very high by O'Neill.
Don't put it in the end zone. Don't punt it in the end zone.
Guess what?
He punted in the end zone. That's a bad punt. You got to get the ball, on the 5 or 10-yard line. You cannot punt the ball into the end zone and give up 20 yards.
9:11 to go first half. You look down to Foxborough Stadium, and the lights just below the stadium are Foxborough Raceway. On November 8th, TNT will take NFL fans where they've never been before, we promise. Don't miss 6 days to Sunday. A unique behind-the-scenes look at the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings as they prepare for their Sunday night showdown, premiering Wednesday, November 8th on TNT.
I'm picking Dallas in an overtime.
Are you?
Yep.
Okay. 9:11 to go first half. Terrell Davis tries to burst through left guard. Mark Schlereth leading the way, number 69.
You know, so far the Denver offensive line and defensive line have done a real good job. And that time it looked like Broderick Thompson, number 76, kind of stepping around. Early we saw Habib do it. And, you know, when you get offensive linemen and defensive linemen playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, you have a chance to have a pretty good night. And that's what's happened thus far for Denver.
Well, Davis now with 9 carries for 57 yards. Second down and 5. Mike Pritchard is the motion man. They fake it, and Elway flips it out to Aaron Craver. My goodness.
Yeah.
Did you expect Craver to be so much a part of the passing offense tonight?
No, an ever-expanding role, but we said it before, it is because Shannon Sharp is attracting the crowd, the fullback has been absolutely wide open for Denver, and that is now his 5th catch of this evening. And sooner or later, when you start covering him, Shannon Sharp turns around and hurts you.
Craver had 6 catches in the previous 5 games this year. Gain of 15, first down at the 40. It's 17-3 Denver under the 8-minute mark in the first half. Elway again with a play action. Anthony Miller. Oh boy, they hog-tie him from behind. Myron Guyton had to pull him down. Miller, who has been hampered much of this season by injuries, and Mike Shanahan telling us last night he's never been hurt before, came over from San Diego, and it's been a cause of concern.
Yeah, and he's a guy they hope when he's healthy can make a big difference for Denver, because he's a guy that, you know, can stretch defenses, can catch long balls, and when you have him healthy, and you have Pritchard and Shannon Sharp and the young rookie Davis, you have a lot of weapons on offense.
Again, the Broncos across the 50. And this time, Glenn Milburn, a rare carry, gets it down to the 45-yard line. That's only the 4th carry this year for Milburn, who is becoming increasingly, or much more increasingly used as a spot player. Let's take a look now at the Lee Sports scoreboard. What a day around the National Football League.
Was it 4 overtime games today with tied an NFL record?
Yep. And none more shocking than that Indianapolis come from behind to win at Miami. Second down, Elway back. Finds Milburn. He's being chased and not very successfully, and finally is knocked out of bounds inside the 30.
Well, Bill Parcells was concerned about his team. He said, if we don't play better, I'm going to have to make a lot of changes. Well, their team has not played better tonight than they have in their first 4 games. And they have not been able to put a lot of pressure on John Elway. He has spread the ball around. They have run reverses. They've run the ball well inside. They've thrown the ball deep. They've used tight end. They have really put on a very nice offensive show.
17-3 and threatening again. Elway will scramble to the 22-yard line. Second carry for John Elway tonight. Boy, it has all gone Denver's way thus far. This is a team that had to go to the last play of regulation, a 43-yard pass Elway to Rod Smith to defeat the Redskins, and then went on the road. They lost at San Diego, and Mike Shanahan said we were awful. And they lost last week in Seattle, and they were worse.
What about Washington? They lost 2 games on the very last play of the game today, and then against these Broncos.
Davis tests the middle of the line, and Willie McGinnis, number 55.
You know, think about, excuse me, Vern, John Elway and that pass to Rod Smith to beat Washington. I think Elway is really one of the rarest of players with an incredible flair for the dramatic, and I think one of the great clutch players. Great clutch players I think the NFL has ever seen. Now, people say, hey, he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but I'll tell you, without him, this is a 4-12 team every year. 35
times he has taken the Broncos from behind for victories in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 1. Davis Move the chains. They've got a first down at the 15-yard line. They have been very effective inside the red zone despite the last 2 weeks. Prior to tonight, they had 12 touchdowns out of 18 trips inside the 20.
Mike Shanahan, the head coach, who still calls all the plays. And I think you'll find teams, Vernon, that are good inside the red zone run the ball well down there. And that's what Denver has done this year. And with a guy like Terrell Davis, who is a strong inside runner, you can be an effective red zone team.
First and 10 at the 15. Davis.
He looks good. I like this Terrell Davis. A guy who from the very first day of training camp, they said, you know, he doesn't act like a rookie, doesn't play like a rookie, just kind of acts like he belongs.
Well, John Elway said last night, he's amazing. We're in our 6th game, and he's yet to make a mental mistake.
Yeah. He said, hey, I have total confidence in him.
They got the ball in his hands 14 times against Seattle last week. They wanted to use him more, but they fell behind and had to pass. He's got 12 carries tonight out of the shotgun on second down. Elway, Davis, flag is down. Touchdown if the play stands.
Boy, as he played well. Hey.
If the play stands.
Well, Terrell Davis said it was a hold. He saw it. Yep, they're going to call offensive a pick play. They rarely call it. The block downfield. I mean, every team runs pick plays, and that's where an offensive player runs into a defensive player, kind of screens him off. They rarely call it. They got caught this time.
Pass interference, number 29, offense. Still second down.
That's Aaron Craver.
Craver's number 29 there on the left. Saying he's blocking. They're saying he is blocking that that linebacker that allowed Terrell Davis to get in the flat. Now you could call that every game, Vern. Very rarely do people do that.
Penalty back to the 21-yard line, and it's second down. Quarterback draw. Elway down to the 17-yard line. Tackle made by Vernon Lewis.
He got hurt.
And John got hurt.
Yep. And a bunch of crazy fans are cheering, I think, his injury, which you hate to see in any ballpark.
That's sad.
It really is. Jim Kelly hurt today. Boomer Esiason hurt today. I think Dan Marino for a while was hurt today. Quarterback draw at age 35. I can't blame the call because he's done it so well for so long. It wasn't a violent hit by any stretch.
The medical staff is tending to John Elway. We'll take a break and be back with the report in a moment. John Elway had the wind knocked out of him, so he's smiling.
Yeah, I think it was 43 Vernon Lewis who got a hand into his face, and he landed right on the football. I think that's really what happened. And he was injured for a while, but not for long. He trotted off the field, and he's got to come out for a play. So Hugh Millen is in on this third and long, and Vern, I'd be very surprised if they didn't run a draw play here or a screen or something like that.
Last time these two teams played here, Hugh Millen was the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. Designated backup now. There's the handoff to Terrell Davis. You played this game?
You always know that the poor backup quarterback, you know, when he comes in, the coaches, it's 3rd and 13, run the draw, send in the screen. It's the draw play.
So Hugh, who had a brief moment in the moonlight, he tried it on, and they all started yelling, Hugh!
Yeah. You know, he had a couple of nice years as a starting quarterback for the Patriots. I think some of his best years in the NFL. Played 10 years, and boy, did he take a beating here a couple of years. That's when they were just awful.
Jeff Robinson will snap it. Tom Ruin will hold it. Jason Elam is now 2 for 2 on field goals. He's connected on a 32-yarder on the heels of his 37-yarder earlier. And that increases the lead to 17 points.
Well, and Vern, if this game is not going to slip away and this season is not going to slip away with 2:24 and 3 timeouts, I think Drew Bledsoe, this is a defining moment and drive for him and this team.
Coming up on the Fruit of the Loom halftime report, Vince Cellini has the no-huddle highlights, a fast-paced look at the big plays of the day. Plus, Ernie Johnson will be joined here in the broadcast booth by Patriots owner Bob Kraft. I'm sure they'll talk about what has happened so far this season. That's coming up on the Fruit of the Loom halftime report just a few moments from now. 2:24 left to go in the first half.
Well, the big guys for the Patriots have just not gotten it done this first half. You know, Bledsoe 4 of 14, and Ben Coates only caught one pass.
You know, if you're a competitor, you admire Drew Bledsoe's desire to play, but has he hurt his team with his decision to come out and play?
Well, I think you have to find out. I think they had to start him at some point. You know, you're going to have to make a change if he continues to play like this, and they may talk about that at halftime, or he's going to have to adjust that tape job because it looks like his left shoulder is just too confined.
As Scott Zolak, who started last week, he was 25 of 41 in that game, but he had 4 fumbles, 3 of which were lost. Troy Brown returns this one and gets it out across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here's Alex Gibbs, the offensive line coach for these Broncos. You know, a year ago, the Broncos gave up like a zillion sacks. They only had 9 coming in tonight's ball game, and he has made a big, big difference.
55, if
that's almost a zillion.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, look what he's done. I mean, he's done that with every team. Last year in Kansas City, he was an offensive line coach there. They only gave up 19 sacks a year ago, and he's looking at the photos as well, looking for alignment.
Mark Schlereth said of Alex Gibbs, he makes us all feel like his sons. Flags are down.
False start, number 83, prior to the snap.
Will Moore.
This is, he said he was as exasperated as he's ever been with the team, and they continue to make mental errors and mistakes.
8 penalties last week. This is a team that has been penalized 25 times, but that's much more than Parcells is used to. Bledsoe.
Stripped out of his hand again, and I think it was Michael Dean Perry again.
It was.
That's twice Michael Dean Perry has done it. It's phenomenal. It happens once in a while, but I've never seen it happen with this regularity in these last 2 weeks for these New England Patriots quarterbacks. Incredible.
Well, the fumble factor is 4 now for the season for
Michael Dean Perry is the guy right here, and he has had a phenomenal first half, shooting the gaps, running through people, and then stripping the quarterback of the ball. This is the second time Michael Dean Perry has done that tonight. His team has recovered for the second time, and this is just tremendous effort. If you can't get there, you do the best you can of harassing the quarterback and sometimes knocking it out of his hands, and he has been just phenomenal this first half.
Second down and 25 at the 2-minute warning now. Here's Bledsoe with a short setup, pressure coming. He gets rid of it, but boy, he got belted from behind. Troy Wilson, number 91, got to Bledsoe at about the point he delivered the ball.
Well, Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator for the Broncos, was concerned that his team was not creating enough turnovers, Vern. You know, he has always been known as a guy that his defense has created turnovers. They have done it tonight. They have done a very good job.
They've only gotten 1, but they've been close on a couple of other occasions. Here's Bledsoe, deep, incomplete. Brisby, who caught 9 last week, is still looking for his first this evening. Let's go back and take a look, not at this play, but the one prior to this.
Well, you know, Drew said to us last night, he said, when I had some time off, I realized maybe I was locking in on my guy, Ben Coates, too much. He said, one of the things I wanted to do was kind of try to spread the ball around a little bit. And that time he kind of locked in on Will Moore, and he said, I need to come off a receiver earlier in the pass route.
4th and 25. They come after the ball. The punt is away from O'Neal. Glenn Milburn has it at the 37-yard line. Milburn down at the 43 with 1:39 to go in the first half. Beautiful shots from overhead tonight on this perfect Sunday evening, and providing tonight's shots from above, the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. The Goodyear Blimps are now in their 4th decade of live sports coverage. 20-19 with 1:39 remaining.
Denver has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. And, you know, this is where John Elway has made his reputation. as clutch a player as there is.
Nalen snaps it back. Elway across the middle. Interference. Yeah, there it comes. Byron Guyton. Intended for Terrell Davis.
The thing about John Elway's arm, I think it still surprises, the velocity of his throw still surprises defensive backs, Vernon. You think you have enough time.
29, defense, first down.
You think you have enough time to recover and drive to the receiver, but just, you know, the ball gets there seemingly 50% faster than it does with most quarterbacks. And Guyton, it was an easy call. Maurice
Hurst was smiling as he said to us yesterday, he can throw it farther than you can run.
Yeah. And he's right.
Yep. Here's Elway. Off his back foot. Incomplete at the 18-yard line.
Mark Schlereth, the left guard, number 69 for the Broncos, does a good job of reading. He's the man right here. He's got what they call kind of a, it's actually Zimmerman, number 65, the left tackle. Now his job is to push that linebacker past the quarterback. And Gary Zimmerman just did his job, just push the linebacker past the quarterback. Elway steps in the pocket, has a chance to throw.
Second down and 10. Ball at the 33, 1:29 to go. Good job defensively by Vernon Lewis, number 43. And it'll be third down and 10.
Some good plays by defensive backs this first half. That one by Vernon Lewis, a nickel back for the Patriots. And we've talked a little bit about Ricky Reynolds, how well he's done. And Ray Crockett has just had a very good first half.
And again, Bob Kraft will join Ernie Johnson at halftime on the Fruit of the Loom halftime report.
Now, you know, third and 10 here. They're in field goal range. He's going to use a timeout. I'm talking about Elway. You just can't take the sack here to get yourself out of field goal position.
Well, we've got a short week. We will take our traveling circus on to St. Louis for a Thursday night encounter. The Coors Light Pro Football Tonight show begins at 7 o'clock, and then our coverage continues with an NFC Western battle between the Falcons and the Rams. New city and a new head coach. The Rams off to their best start since 1989. Why don't you get a pop in here? The Falcons and the Rams this Thursday right here on TNT. I thought sure I was going to say best start since Hayden was the QB.
We don't have actually good starts, but how about Isaac Bruce, the guy we just saw catch that pass? Isaac Bruce has had a very big season for the Rams, but who would have thought after 5 games you'd have 2 teams hanging in there with San Francisco in the NFC West? I didn't. I thought San Francisco would run away with it. They still might, but Atlanta and St. Louis have played very well.
We have learned each week, have we not, that there is no dominant team so far.
That's what I keep hearing.
I rode that Dallas bandwagon for a while, and then Miami. I'm off of that now.
Yeah, you're off that bandwagon. You mentioned a short week. I always thought weeks were always 7 days. Well, it's a short week.
I didn't go to Oxford. Third and 10. Right side. Pritchard incomplete. Good job by Ty Law, the #1 defensive back. That's wonderful defensive play.
He is now becoming an established player. I'm talking about number 24 right there, Ty Law. He was picked on last week by Jeff George and responded. John Elway has tested him twice tonight deep. Both times Ty Law has been equal to the task. And this is very good coverage. And the one thing that New England could be happy about, I think, this evening generally, is the coverage of the corners was pretty good.
Jason Elam from 51 yards out, and he hammers it home, riding a gentle breeze from the north. Elam, who had tried 2 field goals of 52 yards this season, knocks it home from 51.
Ty Law, number 24, their #1 draft pick. And perfectly timed jump. There's 2 plays for him tonight, but still time here, Vernon, with 1:14 for Drew Bledsoe. He has all 3 of his timeouts remaining. And you have to think, you know, Ben Coates has only caught 1 pass tonight. That has been for 25 yards, but he's only completed 4 passes. But I think if you're going to get it going, you got to start with that guy, number 87, who is a remarkable player. 96 receptions a year ago. Instant offense. He's just, too big for safeties and I think too fast for linebackers to cover him. But Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator, said we're going to double him up and we're going to make it difficult for him to get off the line of scrimmage, and they've done a pretty good job of doing that this first half.
Bledsoe 4 of 16 for 40 yards. Total offense in the first half thus far for New England, 27 yards.
I'll tell you the other thing Denver's doing. Richard Smith, the special teams coach, is doing a good job of kicking the ball on these kickoffs away from Dave Meckett to Troy Brown.
Meckett is #1 in the league at kickoff returns at 28 yards, and they do it again. Here's Troy Brown at the 9. Troy Brown knocked down. A flag is thrown back at the 16-yard line. Troy Wilson made the tackle, number 91. Here's Johnny Greer.
Boy, another penalty.
That's the 4th penalty tonight.
Holding number 34 during the return.
Rupert Grant, number 34, gets the flag.
And it's going to be on Rondell Jones, number 31. Number 31 for the Broncos was the man being held, Rondell Jones.
First down and 10. Stunts by the defense. Bledsoe near side. Receiver was out of bounds.
Boy.
Brisby had slipped and his foot had gone across the sideline.
We mentioned that Kevin Turner is no longer here. He caught 52 balls a year ago. Michael Timpson is no longer here. He caught 74 passes. Leroy Thompson, he's no longer here. He caught 65 passes a year ago. Drew Bledsoe has lost a lot of the offensive firepower he had at his disposal a year ago.
There is no infraction on the play. The player was out of bounds. Incomplete pass.
Johnny, I've been there. I've been there many times. I hate to go out of bounds.
There's just what we're talking about. Timpson's gone, Thompson gone, Turner gone, Great Britain, and they let go on their own volition.
Probably because of vicissitudes. Second down and 10. That one's caught by Meggett. Chased by Atwater. And a first down brings cheers laced with derision.
Oh, man. You're on tonight, babe. You are on.
Weekend Vermont will do that for you. That pass complete across the middle to Ben Coates.
He's going to use the timeout. Good call. He still has 2 remaining. You spent the week looking at leaves this past week, haven't you?
It's the first time Nancy and I have been able to stay back here during the fall foliage. And if there's a more beautiful spot in America at this time, I don't know where it would be.
Yeah, you've turned into a regular Alan Alda
yes,
after
I have.
that week.
We played a little Four Seasons and stereo and drove through the highways of Vermont. You ever been to Woodstock or Manchester?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Nice parts of the world.
Pretty special. 23-3. That was Ben Coates' 200th career reception. 96 of those came last season.
You know, Ben Coates can dominate. He has not tonight or this season, but he can dominate in a lot of different areas. I mean, he can dominate downfield because his scoring range is quite large for a tight end because of his speed. I mean, he's very strong at the point of attack. He's a solid blocker as a tight end. He's good in the crowd. I mean, he can do a lot of things and affect the game in a lot of different ways. They have to get him involved somehow or other in this game a little bit more.
Second down and 4, 23-3. Whoops. Troy Wilson.
Bledsoe was hoping he was going to have the free one.
They're going to check and see if this will be a first down. I believe it will.
Offside. 91. Defense. Unabated to the quarterback. First down.
Well, you know, they need about 25 yards. Matt Barr just kicked, what was it, a 51-yard field goal?
Right.
So they need about 25 yards and 49 seconds to be able to do that.
Bledsoe pulls up, lets it go deep for Brisby. incidental contact at the 25. Vincent Brisby would disagree with that, but
yeah, Lionel Washington on the coverage. They've had no luck on the other side on Ray Crockett, so Drew Bledsoe begins to see if he can get something done with Lionel Washington, but nothing there. These two corners, as we said, have not had a given up a touchdown pass all season long. The defense has been run on, and they've been terrible up till tonight, really. But the corners have played pretty well.
Second down and 10. At the 37. Right side, complete at the 50. That's another first down.
They'll use a timeout. One remaining for New England.
Actually, the game is to the 49-yard line of Denver. 37 seconds to go with one timeout left.
Yeah, again, just need 12, 15 yards. I mean, you know, down 23-3, you're looking for anything. I mean, obviously, you'd much prefer the touchdown, but just get a field goal on the board before halftime. You'd have to feel a little bit better going into the locker room.
And I would think they could take some encouragement from this drive for Bledsoe. He's looked as good as he has tonight.
Yeah, because he got off to a very, very slow start and didn't look like he was throwing the ball funny. It came out of his hands funny. But he's been much more in rhythm this last drive. Now, maybe they're a little tight, too. I mean, we talked about Denver wanting to play more loosely, and they felt like they were pressing. I think this New England team has pressed a little bit, too.
Well, they opened with a heroic win at home. I say heroic because the win took place in the last minute of the game against Cleveland. But not much has gone their way since. Lost to Miami, San Francisco. Here's Bledsoe back down the right side, back to the ball.
Oh, good adjustment. Good adjustment.
Kevin Lee. A 33-yard gain.
Boy, you talk about adjusting to the ball when the air, because he was covered. Kevin Lee, number 86, was covered. They come with a blitz. They get some pressure. He hangs in there in the pocket. Cadrez hits him. And then the adjustment by number 86, Kevin Lee. And that's the kind of play they needed. Now they're looking at potentially the touchdown with 27 seconds remaining. And they still have one timeout.
Matt Barr ready. He's kicked one of 51 tonight if needed.
You know, they're hoping it's an extra point, not a field goal. But Vern, with one timeout remaining, you can use the entire field. You don't have to worry about just using the boundaries and the sidelines. And I think in this part of the field, this is where Ben Coates, I think, even becomes more effective. Perfect timing, good adjustment, and that's the kind of play they needed to lift this offense this half. That is as big a play as they have had in the last 3 weeks.
Remember what Bledsoe said to us. We've been in a rut, and we need something exceptional. Here's the pass, left side, caught. Troy Brown. Out of bounds at the 5.
Well, I was told I was wrong. I said they had one timeout. They have no timeouts remaining. So that's why they did have to get the ball out of bounds. Okay, 22 seconds, though. You still have a chance to work with Ben Coates, all 6'5" and 250 pounds of.
They go in the corner. Brisby incomplete. Lionel Washington defending.
First it was Crockett, and now it's Lionel Washington, number 48. Gets his hands on him early in the route. And actually, that ball actually looked like it had a chance to be caught by Brisby. Went right through his numbers.
I think so.
That could have been caught. Probably should have been when you're down 23-3.
Second down and goal from the 5. Too far. Washington, Brisby. And Atwater working the crowd over in the end zone.
Well, they have just been awful down here in the red zone, haven't they? Only 3 touchdowns in 18 possessions at 17% coming into tonight's ball game. And they've had 3 turnovers, as many turnovers as touchdowns.
Kevin Lee, right side on 3rd and goal at the 5. Now he starts in motion. Bledsoe, nobody open to the right, still dancing, throws it away in the end zone.
I think you have to go for it here on 4th down, and Bill Parcells goes for more on 4th down than any coach in football. They have gone, what, is it 18 times this year? 14 times this year. There it is. Last year, they went 35 times on 4th down, and you're down 23-3. Your team is 1-3. It's the right call. But Vern, I'm thinking, hey, give Ben Coates a chance here. Let him use his big body against a strong safety or a linebacker.
Megan is in, so is Kroom. They split behind Bledsoe. Lee starts in motion. Bledsoe chased to the right. Deep in the end zone for Coates, incomplete.
Can't throw that one out. He's trying to get the ball to Coates, but you got to give your guys a chance. Even if you throw the interception there, it doesn't kill you. I mean, it's the same thing. No difference. Here's Coates, number 87. Didn't really get jammed at the line of scrimmage, but they had 2 guys on him. And that's where he wanted to go. Wyman's number 92. Crockett is 39. And Crockett has really played well.
Indeed, he has.
Oh. And this Denver defense has, Vern. You know, they've been playing miserably the last few weeks, particularly defending the run. And the Denver defense has, I think, played exceptionally well this first half.
2 seconds remaining. John Elway, in the lingo of the sport, takes a knee. So the best drive of the night for the Patriots. They come up empty. It's 23-3 at the half. Encounter against Oakland next week.